Now at 9, President Trump plans to announce large reciprocal tariffs. See what it means for global and consumers.
And the U.S. faces its worst flu epidemic in years. Find out what you can do to prevent the spread.
And in order to restore formerly viewable web pages, what this means for medical information access.
Finally, Google is taking cultural events off the default calendar. We have the latest.
And I'll be tracking some wintry weather ahead. NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Braylon Judah.
And I'm Demo Robinson.
Muncie is expected to get hit with some freezing rain tonight and chilling temperatures. We're going to throw it to NewsLink Chief Weather Forecaster Noah Gordon to let us know what to expect in the coming days.
Yeah, thanks guys. As for now, right now, everything is quiet across east central Indiana. We see most of our temperatures hovering right around that freezing mark here. 32 degrees in Farmland, 34 the warm spot in Portland. Our coldest spot, 30 degrees in Richmond. But like I said, most of those temperatures remaining right above that freezing mark. Now what we're going to be tracking tonight, of course, freezing rain and a snow mix, especially tomorrow. Colder temps through the weekend, and I'll have a Valentine's Day forecast. All that and more coming up in my full forecast later in the show.
Thanks, Noah. President Donald Trump says he could announce sweeping reciprocal tariffs. The idea is the U.S. would match tariffs a given country has on specific American goods.
Experts say reciprocal tariffs could be broad enough to have a major impact on the U.S. global and, U.S. Sorry about that. So sorry. The global economies. Amy Kiley reports on what they could mean for the American consumers.
It's time to be reciprocal.
President Donald Trump says he plans to formally announce reciprocal tariffs soon.
If they charge us, we charge them. If they're at 25, we're at 25.
Trump argues tariffs raise revenue, balance trade, and serve as leverage, although his opponents question some of that logic. Economists say the usual reason to impose tariffs is to help domestic producers. For instance, a business might pay 10% extra for American products to avoid paying 25% more on imports. Either way, the cost is higher, and many in corporate America oppose Trump's tariffs.
Business people are going to be cautious, and clearly that has broader implications for the economy.
Experts say companies are likely to pass on some of that added cost to consumers. Most mainstream economists say tariffs cause inflation. Some worry broad reciprocal ones could be a significant blow to the U.S. economy.
These reciprocal tariffs likely would mean higher prices for Americans because most of our trading partners have higher tariffs on our goods than we have on theirs.
Another concern is the potential for trade wars. Many experts say rising tariffs could harm the global economy.
You have a sweater and you snag it on a nail or a piece of wood, and it starts to unravel. That's what's going to happen with world trade.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
President Donald Trump is calling for the end of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. In a social media post today, Trump said FEMA should be terminated, claiming it didn't do enough to help the people of the North Carolina after Hurricane Helene. Trump suggested that letting states handle disaster relief would lead to big savings and greater efficiency. Trump first said he might eliminate FEMA during a trip to tour damage from Hurricane Helene flooding in North Carolina last month.
President Trump welcomed King Abdullah II of Jordan at the White House this afternoon. It comes a week after Trump proposed a new plan to seize control of Gaza and push Jordan and Egypt to accept millions of new Palestinian refugees. In comments afterward, Trump doubled down on his push to control the Gaza Strip and remove Palestinians. In response, King Abdullah said they should wait and see what Egypt and other Arab partners have to say about it. Trump said he's confident the U.S. would be able to work out an arrangement with Egypt.
Pope Francis has written a letter to the United States bishops criticizing the Trump administration's immigration crackdown and its mass deportations of migrants. In the letter, the Pope described the president's action as a major crisis. He said that deporting people who have fled their homelands, quote, damages the dignity of many men and women and of entire families. He also called out Vice President J.D. Vance, a Catholic convert, in his use of theology to defend deportations.
We're on track to see the most intense flu season the U.S. has had in at least 15 years. Experts say doctors' office visits driven by flu-like symptoms are way up.
And the virus has even forced some schools in some states to shut down. Mandy Gaither has a look at the latest flu data and how to avoid all seasonal flu viruses.
For a second time this season, flu cases are climbing. So far, the CDC estimates there have been at least 24 million flu illnesses, 310,000 hospitalizations, and 13,000 deaths, including at least 57 children.
If you look at cases overall, it's the worst in many, many years.
43 states have reported high or very high flu activity in the last week. Nationwide, more than 30% of flu tests are coming back positive, and this season you can also test for flu at home.
We weren't able to do that. You could do COVID tests in the past, but now there's a 3-in-1 flu test.
U.S. health officials recommend the annual flu vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. About 44% of adults got flu shots this winter, the same as last winter. But coverage of children is way down at about 45% this winter. It's usually around 50%. Experts say it's still not too late to get vaccinated for flu.
Now keep in mind, if you get a vaccine, it takes about 2 weeks to actually get the immunity from the vaccine, for those antibodies to build up in your body.
To protect against all seasonal viruses, doctors say to avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth because germs can spread that way. Wash your hands with soap and water, clean frequently touched surfaces, and avoid close contact with people who are sick. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Trump administration has been ordered to restore some public health web pages that were wiped from the internet. That's the official ruling from a federal judge today. It came after a legal challenge from a doctors group that said removing the information was affecting their ability to care for patients. The health pages and data sets were taken down to comply with President Trump's executive orders, demanding that health information supporting non-binary genders be taken down. The court order states the web pages and data sets must be restored by the end of tonight.
After the break, Google is removing cultural events from default calendars. See what days and cultures this change is affecting.
And the vice president spoke at an artificial intelligence conference in Paris. Find out what this means for the new administration's belief on AI.
Hey, boss. Okay?
I said I'm fine.
Me the babe, see you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Hey there, Hoosiers. Are you ready to give your child a head start on their future? Indiana 529 savings plans are a simple way to save for their education. Plus, there are some great tax benefits. The best part? It's not just for college. Indiana 529 can be used for tech schools, trade programs, apprenticeships, and more. Start with just $10 a month at myindiana529.com to help them reach their dreams.
I've always loved space and football. Growing up, some people told me I had to choose. But here's the deal. You can be great at more than one thing. And getting involved in STEM opens up your world to a universe of opportunities in life.
This is my time.
Get inspired and get involved today. There are STEM programs and science centers available in your community, so be sure to check out spaceforall.us to learn more and get started.
This is my time. There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Find your place in space.
This is my time.
Space for all.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Welcome back. References to cultural events like Black History Month and Pride Month have been removed in an update to Google's calendar's default settings. Among the excluded holidays were Women's History Month, Jewish Heritage Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, Indigenous People Month, and Holocaust Remembrance Day. The changes promoted some to criticize the company. A Google spokesperson said the changes were implemented last year as a part of a revamp of the calendar tool based on user input. According to the spokesperson, maintaining it wasn't sustainable.
Today, Vice President J.D. Vance took President Trump's fight against regulation of artificial intelligence development to the global stage. Vance spoke to heads of state and CEOs gathered in Paris for the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit. He said the U.S. believes overzealous rulemaking could kill the artificial intelligence industry.
We believe that excessive regulation of the AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off, and will make every effort to encourage pro-growth AI policies.
Vance's remarks followed Trump's repeal last month of an executive order by former President Biden. Biden's order set out actions to manage AI's national security risk and prevent discrimination by AI systems. Many experts believe the risk of AI need to be addressed through regulations.
Pretty soon, you'll be able to get a Lyft without a Lyft driver. Lyft has announced it will start using autonomous vehicles. In a social media post, CEO David Risher said that they could debut in Dallas by 2026. The rideshare company joined forces with Marubeni, a Japanese company who will own the fleet of cars that will feature Mobileye drive technology. Officials at Lyft say once these vehicles are out, customers can choose if they would like to go driverless. Last year, the company said autonomous cars will be operating in Atlanta by the end of 2025.
And I'll have the full details on that freezing rain coming up after the break.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 Americans are sick of the divisions in our country? But there's one small step we can take to remember that we're still connected. All over America, strangers with different political views are coming together to talk about their lives, not politics, and discovering they actually have a lot in common. Because even if we don't see eye to eye, we can still talk, heart to heart. So let's talk, for a change. Learn more at takeonesmallstep.org.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back. That wintry feeling is back in the air with freezing rain and temps hitting the lower 30s.
NewsLink's chief weather forecaster Noah Gordon is in the studio with more on that wintry mix that's making its way towards Muncie. Noah?
Yeah, guys, like I mentioned, quiet for now across our region, but that's not the case here. Just to the south of us here in southeastern Indiana, where we're still seeing freezing rain, and snow itself running right along the Ohio River corridor all the way up to about Pittsburgh here. But like I mentioned, the last quiet night is ahead here in east central Indiana. Current temperatures across our state right now, right about that freezing mark, 32 in Muncie, 32 in Indianapolis, 34 in Terre Haute. Like I mentioned tonight, going to be quiet, if not a bit cold out there. Mostly cloudy with a low of 27 degrees with those northeast winds at about 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, on the other hand, we start to see that active pattern return to our region. 25 at that bus stop by 8 a.m., 29 by the time you're headed to lunch, and then 5 p.m. here, 32 degrees. That's when we see things really start to kick in here in east central Indiana with that freezing rain moving in during the afternoon hours. Now we can see in our precision cast here, mostly quiet throughout most of the day tomorrow, but as we head into the afternoon hours, we see by the time we get to about 5 p.m., we see that snow to our northwest, that rain just to the south of I-70, and that freezing rain. We're right on that rain-snow line here in east central Indiana, and we're going to be stuck in that freezing rain for most of the event throughout tomorrow and into tomorrow evening. We're going to see maybe a little bit of snow wrap around just into the overnight hours into early Thursday, but we should see most of this precipitation move out by the time we get to Thursday morning. Now, of course, we're going to expect to see impacts from this throughout our region here. What we're calling for right now is 1 to 2 inches of snow, but the bigger threat here is that ice. We're going to see anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice. Meanwhile, to our further southeast, we're just going to see a rain mix just south of I-70. Now, with any sort of winter weathery mix like we've seen here, only a difference of about 10 to 20 miles north to south can have drastic impacts on snowfall here. So you're going to stay tuned here on NewsLink Indiana just in case things wobble. We could see much more ice or much more snow given on how this develops tomorrow afternoon. Now, because of this, the National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a winter weather advisory for nearly all of our east central Indiana counties and most of the northern 2/3 of the state of Indiana, highlighting the fact for total snow accumulations from 1 to 3, and that's ice accumulations up to about 2/10 of an inch. Now, if this weather and this snow has got you feeling blue, lucky we have Valentine's Day coming up on Friday, and it's looking to be one of the better weather days of our week here. If you're headed out during the day, 33 degrees under mostly sunny skies. If you're headed out date night here in Muncie especially, going to be a bit chillier out there, mostly cloudy with a low of 28 degrees on Valentine's Day especially. So definitely something you're going to want to take advantage of for that special someone in your life. Now, if we take a look at our 7-day forecast here, we see an active weather pattern continues. 33 on Wednesday, 26 on Thursday, 32 on Friday for your Valentine's Day, but that sunshine continues. Meanwhile, Saturday and Sunday, another shot at rain, perhaps some snow and some freezer rain as well. But our temperatures dive on Monday, 16 degrees, only 34 on Tuesday. And guys, it feels like we're just going to kind of run into nothing but snow and kind of wintry weather across our region. I think I'm looking forward to spring. What about you guys?
Oh, me 100%. I'm tired of the coats. I'm tired of everything. I just want to wear a flannel, dude.
I am too. I know you mentioned that we have a little bit of cold temps when it comes to Valentine's Day. Hopefully some of the viewers at home can have someone close that can warm up their heart, because it will be pretty cold outside.
I was about to say, yeah, and I think we're just looking for some flowers across the region, some spring warmth, so yeah.
Be good to see. Thank you so much. There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jace Miller has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Braylon and Demar. I've got a look back at the big game on Sunday and a glance at Cardinal sports. All this and more next in sports.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Students who can read by the end of 3rd grade are 35% more likely to graduate. I'm Dr. Katie Jenner, Indiana Secretary of Education, here to tell you how reading 30 minutes per day can improve the trajectory of a child's life. Whether you're reading with your child or they are reading independently, this is one of the most important things you can do to help them succeed. So this school year, please encourage your child to continue reading. It's a small habit that makes a big difference.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh. My lucky glove didn't even work.
but I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jace Miller with sports. The Super Bowl registered record ratings for the second year in a row. In the Eagles' triumph over the Chiefs, the broadcast averaged 127 million viewers across all platforms, a 3% increase from last year's game. Fox reported that viewership peaked in the second quarter when nearly 136 million people were tuned into the game. NBC and Peacock will air next year's Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California on February 8th, 2026. This past weekend, Ball State women's tennis faced off against Oakland University. NewsLink Indiana's Xavier Harris has the details.
Over the weekend, women's tennis secured their second straight victory with a 5-2 win over Oakland University. Ball State took the lead early on, winning their doubles matches 6-1 by decision. However, the day was capped off by a comeback win by Alana Bristow. After dropping her first set 4-6, she bounced back to take over the second set 6-0 and locked in to win the last set 6-3, which clinched the deciding point for her team. Bristow credits the energy surrounding the team for their recent success.
So much momentum to have a whole team competing together and just feeling each other's energy, feeling the wins, feeling the improvements. It's only positive stuff going on here, so we're super excited.
With the long season ahead, the team knows there is still room for improvement as they look to keep their winning streak alive and get better with every match.
I think we need to keep continuing on our net play in doubles, working together in doubles as like new teams, new pairings, and it's really exciting, and if we just keep with that, it'll be great.
Head coach Curtain acknowledges the talent on the team, but emphasizes the main focus is growth. Coach believes that if players stay committed, they can go far.
I think for me right now, it's just the growth of the team and for them to understand that we are a very talented team, and if we put our mind to it, the sky's the limit.
Looking forward to the spring, the team has their eyes set on a common goal, winning the MAC championship.
Oh, MAC championship. MAC champions. That's what we want to be. So
we want to win MAC. It's simple as we just want to win the MAC, and we can do it. We've got the skills, yeah, it's going to be great.
In Muncie, Xavier Harris, NewsLink Indiana.
Serving it over to the hardwood, Ball State men's basketball participated in round 2 of the MAC SBC Challenge. NewsLink Indiana Stephen Grotta took to Worthen Arena for more.
Worthen Arena is the host of many sporting events here at Ball State, but this Saturday it was the host of the MAC versus Sun Belt Conference Championships. This is round 2 of the tournament in which Ball State in the first round fell to Georgia State in a crushing defeat. So, let's get the tip-off.
The MAC Sun Belt Conference Challenge started last year. In this challenge, teams from each conference will face off against each other twice a year. At the end of round 2 of the tournament, the amount of wins for each conference are tallied, and the conference with the most wins are crowned the winner. In this round 2 matchup, Ball State took on Southern Mississippi in a contest that was close until the final buzzer. A great win for the Cardinals was topped off by a 21-point performance from senior Mickey Pearson Jr. Pearson also hit 2 career milestones in this game, 1,000 points and 500 rebounds.
Just happy that I was able to achieve that, just showcasing like how hard I've been working. It's a great achievement. Just a shout out to my coach, shout out to Coach Lewis for giving me a chance and my teammates.
This win also puts head coach Michael Lewis at a 2-2 record against teams from the Sun Belt. Each win for Lewis has also been a second-half comeback, something that Lewis has become very familiar with.
We did a much better job of getting back in the second half, but I thought they played with some poise and did some things down the stretch to win.
After all the round 2 matchups were finished, the MAC would finish on top of the Sun Belt, winning the challenge for the very first time. In Muncie, Stephen Grotta, NewsLink Indiana.
There were a lot of eyes on sports this weekend, whether it was tennis, basketball, but my eyes were on the Super Bowl this weekend. Did you guys catch the game at all?
Oh, I did. Loved it. Every bit of it.
Even with the performance, halftime performance, I think that was the most viewed in history. Loved it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about the viewership, and it was even up for halftime.
Thank you, Jace. Coming up, we've got your campus coverage.
And one last look at weather.
Yarr! All I wanted was my treasure, and I wound up with a lawsuit from my neighbors, and a belly full of regret.
Thanks, Salty Pete. What a powerful dig story. Okay, great class, everybody. Before we go, let's stand and say the safe digging pledge. Shovels don't know right from wrong, but I do. And I'll always contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before digging. It's the only way to dig.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Daniel Huber, and this is your campus coverage. At the Ned and Gloria Greiner Arts Gallery, students are getting ready for the 90th annual Jurate Student Art Show. The exhibition will display a variety of student art pieces, showcasing technical skills and different stories. I went to meet a couple of the artists to learn more about their installations. Just outside the entrance of the museum, you are greeted with a giant ceramic arch created by fourth-year ceramics and art education student Hannah Cushing.
Originally, when starting, I just wanted to make something extremely playful. I wanted to make something large scale, and I wanted to make a statement too. So I was like, it would be really cool if people could interact with this and like maybe eventually be able to walk under it.
Cushing used her experience in architecture to design the arch. She wanted to do a project that was technically challenging. The handmade primary colored structure is self-standing and reinforced with silicone out of safety concerns.
I want people to see that like the School of Art is here and like we're thriving and the students are incredible at art and people need to see it. And this is a program that needs to be supported.
Past the arch and into the gallery, you will be greeted by multiple student works ranging in mediums, from painting to pastels to prints to multimedia. One installation is by junior animation major Grace Gallagher. A series of vignettes made out of charcoal and ink to tell a story about shame.
It starts at a young age, you know, we get put in timeout, we get punished, and then like later down the line, those kind of things can just influence how we view life. Sometimes we're just fighting the shame in a bunch of different ways. But ultimately, I still feel like we all find our way to, you know, accept this shame within us.
Gallagher says she wants her piece to encourage people to ask questions about themselves and their own experiences with shame.
Art is everything that like humans are meant to do, in all honesty. I think it's our best way of communicating who we are and what we want to say.
This Friday, the opening reception is February 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. The exhibition is free for everyone and will run till March 15th. Fellas, let me tell you, I am very much excited. When I just walking into the studio, a lot more of the installations are now hung up on the wall and everything is looking really good for the Friday showing.
Amazing to see. I'd love to go, see all the beautiful colors.
I think I'm going to have to go. I love when students get to, you know, I love the idea of sculpting something and making something physical, and then also the digital and multimedia side of it too. I love both sides of art when it comes to...
Oh, and there's like a whole section about ceramics. One of the things that really did catch my eye was there was a teddy bear that had like, had like glass, and then there was beads inside the glass.
Really?
It was, oh, and there's also, oh man, I hate that I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, you're good.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now one final look at weather.
Yeah, thank you guys. Not one, but at least two different snow systems moving through this next 7 days here. The biggest one that we're concerned about tomorrow, like I mentioned, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible with up to a 1/4 inch of ice may impact the Wednesday evening commute through Thursday morning. Now looking into Saturday and Sunday, that system looks to remain to our north, but still a chance for some snow, although right now it's looking a lot like rain. Monday, 16 degrees, Tuesday, 34 degrees, as we rebound to right around average temperatures as we head into next work week. But guys, like I mentioned, still running above average for this first couple days of February, but it's really not going to last for long as those temperatures really take a nosedive into next week.
Not looking forward to it.
Thank you, Noah.
Not looking forward to it at all. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.